Hello, ladies, and welcome to tonight's Boss Lady Call. I am so excited and happy to be on because I have a whole pack of information that I cannot
Ladies,
wait
and welcome
to share
to
with
tonight's
you.
Boss Lady
And
Call.
it
I am
looks like
so
we are on
excited
YouTube.
and happy to be on.
So that is great. Ladies, first and foremost, I hope each and every one of you has been having a great week. I hope you've had a great day, and that this year has been off to an amazing start for you. And I'm gonna tell you how we're gonna crush this entire year today. If this is your first time on this call, however, I want to give you a welcome on behalf of me and all the council and all the other boss ladies to the movement. We're so happy to have you with us. And if this is the first time you're logging on, make sure to have pen and paper with you because you are going to want to take not just notes, but copious notes about what I'm about to share with you because they're actually my notes. I mean, my golden nugget notes. I mean, the notes that I not only hear, but the notes of the notes that I take. And just a quick thing about me, I am a very good note taker. And because I like to listen, I like to hear to what you can usually hear right off the bat. I really like to shut up and listen, like my mentor told me. And that's what I want to share with you today. Today, I want to give all of us a check from the neck up. But I mean, a special edition training where I share golden nuggets that are for sure to take all of our businesses to that next level. And I mean, the level that you cannot even possibly imagine by the end of 2017. So with that said, if this is your first time, make sure you hop every single week after week, Thursday at the very same time, 6:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Central time, and 9:30 Eastern time. And ladies, if you can also, drop comments on the chat as we're having the call, that will be amazing. I'll try to, keep my eyes on them. So, with that said, I want to start with this. The power of energy. And I'm gonna tell you like it is. I need you to write everything you can possibly catch from this training because it's nuggets on nuggets from trainings on trainings. And the reason I want to do this tonight is because that's what it's about. See, the way we end this month is how you're ending 2017. And what I mean by that is 1 month in is already 1 year out. So I want to give us that check from the neck up that not only makes us realize our energy, makes us realize where we're at, but also makes us realize where we're going and come together as one. Come together as a unit is no longer energy. That energy. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So let's start with the power of energy. The power of energy tells us about the power of mouth. But see, the power of mouth is not just when your mouth is moving. Not just when you're talking. Anybody can talk. Anybody can listen, right? Unless you have an impediment that stops you from that, you can talk and you can hear. But it takes a very special person to speak. It takes a very special person to listen. I mean, ladies, what you speak to, you give life to. What you speak on, you're giving life to. As a matter of fact, keep this in mind. You don't have to introduce yourself because your energy will do that for you before you even open your mouth. Whatever you decide to give energy to, that is at the end of the day what you are giving life to. Okay, so I want to tune up that energy just as we start this call and give us that check from the neck up gradually throughout this training. See, the power of the mind is what is known as 3 simple things. And if you haven't heard that before, you want to write it down. The power of the mind. It starts with 3 things. The first one is saying. What you say, you think, you do. So the power of the mind is what you say, you think, you do. Here's where the power of energy comes into place. The power of energy is what you say you go out to do, you get it done. That's stage 1, to do. Once you're doing it, that is going to lead you to stage 2, which is to have. And that to have is going to lead you to stage 3, which is to be. As many of you know, I am super big on personal development because personal development is only the beginning of it. Everybody should be undergoing a process at all times. Physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, financially, spiritually, personally, professionally. I mean, if you're not, then what are you doing with your life? You're not working up with that purpose, with that desire to grow, with that burning desire every single day. go back to sleep because you shouldn't be awake. But with that said, you have to be mindful of what you wish, but you also have to be mindful of what you don't wish for. And what I mean by that is, think about it this way. What if I told you, what if I told every single one of you on this call, success is guaranteed? And success, see, what it does is it's not a destination, it's a state. See, people don't fail, they just quit. People just quit. People don't fail. So, with that, what happens when you bring all this energy together and you work on synergy? What happens is, now you have a team. Mentality, system, support, literacy, and of course, leadership. We're in such a beautiful place, in the right place at the right time, that we have all of those. But see, if you are not putting them together, there's no synergy. So no energy is flowing, not up and not forward. We don't want it to the sides. We don't want it backwards or down. We want it up and forward. So in order to create that synergy as a team, as a unit, what you have to do is you have to realize that there's 4 things that come into place. And those 4 things, a lot of people like to say, teamwork makes the dream work. The dream is not going to work if there's really no teamwork. And in order to have teamwork, you have to follow 4 guidelines. And that is 1, urgency. There has to be a sense of urgency, because see, it's not, imagine if the speed of the leader is the speed of the business. Well, guess what? The pack should be moving together as one. So in order for that to happen, there has to be a sense of energy, of urgency, as a team. That's 1. 2, the speed. Just because you have the urgency doesn't mean you're moving along with the speed. That's why a lot of people get pushed back by that thing called the learning curve, because they may have so much development, but where's the growth? Where's the process, right? So, it's going to be always a work in progress. It should always be like that, but there should be a process already along the way. And the 3rd thing is action. At the end of the day, remember KSE. For those that do not know KSE, in short, it's K stands for knowledge, S stands for strategy, and E starts for execution. Knowledge, we know it. I mean, if you were not knowledgeable, you would not be in the movement. You would not be in the company. You would not be goals and dreams in the team, right? And you have to realize that knowledge, you got it. The strategy, you got it, because you got the system. And I'll get into how you check yourself if you're following the system the right way in a second. But on top of that, E is where it's at, the execution, right? So when you take that 3rd step as a team, that action, you got the urgency, check. You got the action, check. Guess what's going to happen? As a team, a result. And believe me when I say, you're not going to get more done ever more independently than you will partnered, which is why it's important to follow the system. You want to see duplication? You have to follow the system. You want to be a mentor? You have to be a mentee first, and that's what I wanted to do. I want to relax, because right now I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key trainings, 5 golden nuggets from 5 different sessions of trainings that really gave me a check from the neck up. And it's going to help you realize that a month in is already a year out. Okay? So the first part is 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. The first training is called 0 to 6 figures. Hey, Jess, you're not a 6-figure yet. Well, guess what? In order to become a 6-figure earner, you have to have the game plan. You have to have the roadmap. So I have the roadmap. I have the game plan. And it's time for me to share with you how you're really going to go from 0 to 6 figures, right? So the way to do that, guys, is by realizing the plan, by realizing that the plan is only going to work if you work it, right? The opportunity is going to work if you work the opportunity. So the way to go to from 0 to 6 figures is very simple. First of all, you have to realize your strength. What is your strength? That is you. Why? Because that is your force. Nobody is going to push your business. Nobody is going to push, leadership, mentorship, training more for you than you. So you have to realize that your strength is your force, and that is you. That's one. And two, you have to realize that what you put in, what you offer is actually your focus. If you are not focused, there's probably not going to be very much that you can offer. So that said, here's how you check yourself, how to go fast, but building slow. You have to build slow to build fast. But how to go fast, building slow from 0 to 6 figures. First step number one is emotion. You have to realize that the emotion has to be there. Now, I know as ladies, they say, let's work with passion. Absolutely. Do not work with emotion. So in case you do not know the difference between emotion and passion, let me remind you real quick. Emotion is worrying about what others think, worrying about what others say, right? Worrying about what others do or are not doing. That's emotion. Passion is working, is not worrying. Passion is about what you say, what you think, what you are and are not doing. That's the difference between emotion and passion. So step one to 0 to 6 figures is emotion. You have to check that emotion. Think about it this way. When are people the most excited? When do people have the most emotion? When they first got started. If you forgot why you got started in the first place, you better go back to your initial why. Because even your updated why, your updated goals should match up to that initial emotion. Okay? And you have to realize that when you started, you probably were not making a lot of money. When you started, you probably didn't have a team. But guess what? The emotion was there. So that's step one, emotion, check. And I want you to really take these nuggets and not keep them for yourself. If you're busy after this call, it's okay, but get back to them. And if you're not, if I were you, as soon as this call is over, I pick up the phone and I call everybody on my team, lady or gent, and I tell them what I'm about to tell you. Emotion is check, right? Two, the applications, the apps, the services. Are you linked up to all of them? See, the very first thing you should do, yourself if you haven't done, or when somebody new comes into the business, is redirect them to the WG challenge. There's no way somebody is not going to know the business in and out, A through Z, if they don't do the challenge. And all you have to do is guide them in that direction. It may take them 30 minutes to a minute, but the person who is serious is going to take it's going to take them 30 minutes to an hour. But the person who is serious is not going to mind spending 2 hours to learn the business A through Z. All right? So emotion, the application, the services, making sure you're being product of the product. You can have a product testimonial right off the bat, but not just you, your people as well, right? And that leads us to step number 3. All right, you have to, be able to show someone the way, the route from a demo to a live. And I'm give you 4x. I'm literally going to tell you at the end of this call, guys, what it takes to build an account from 0 to 5,000. And when you're at 5,000, what are the lots that you can be managing from 0 to 5,000? Mark my words at the end of this call. And but the important part is to be using the service. And by using the service, it doesn't matter if it's demo. It doesn't matter if it's live. Obviously, the goal is to go from demo to live in the quickest time possible, right? Because you want to have your team winning as well. You want to see your team winning. As a matter of fact, you should want to see everybody even not in your team winning, because they win, guess what? You win. That is team. That is synergy. So, moving on from that, after, we're on live, taking advantage of our services, automating whatever has to be automated, making sure everybody has a plan and whatever that's for them, not for you, for them, short, long term, or whatever basis it is for them, right? And After that, see, that's simply what? 4 things. I mean, 3 things, right? The emotion, the application services, making sure your product is a product. Make sure we're making that transition, right, from the demo to the live. Not because the transaction matters, but because the transition is where it's at, in the transformation, in the growth, right? We always say you see one, you hear one, you see one, you do one, you teach one, right? So after that, guess what? There's 2 types of people: the people that go out and do, and the people that go out and don't do. And the difference between those people are the people who wait for a result. I don't believe in good things take time. Absolutely. But I'm not going to sit around my whole life waiting for something to happen. I'm going to go and pour in my energy into it because I'm going to make something happen. That's the difference between waiting and working. So, at this point, guys, check yourself off. I want you to check yourself off so that you realize how much knowledge you have with you, so that you realize how much strategy you have with you. But it's time to apply all that and grow your execution. And the way you're going to do that is by realizing that we're not the hunters here. We're the catch. We're the prey. I mean, with or without you, with or without me, there's a Forex market that is open Monday through Friday. Closes on Friday, opens on Sunday. And with or without you, with or without me, thousands and millions of people are losing money that they could be redistributing wealth into their generations. Why? Because somebody did not take the time to show them that check from the neck up. And if you want to give other people a check from the neck up, you have to be able to give yourself a check from the neck up. So, when you realize that with or without you, with or without me, Forex is making 4.5 trillion a day, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. What is the minimum wage in the country that you're in? And 2, what is the highest revenue of the person in your country as of last year for 2016? And I want you to know that from that minimum wage to that revenue, you could do anywhere in between or even better. Because you have absolutely everything that it takes. You have everything in your hands, but you have to start executing. So that is why I want you to know how to give yourself a check from the neck up day and night, every single day. So, understanding that you're not the hunter, that you're the catch, that you're the prey, pretty much helps you realize that it's easier to share the process. It's easier to, to share something where you know how valuable it is. But that's just the basics, guys. That's just how to go from 0 to 6 figures. You have to be, and then guess what? You do it again, and you do it again, and you duplicate it, and subsequently. But see, this is how you're gonna realize what you're gonna do. We're 1 month out. That's it. We're not gonna get January, back. I mean, we still have a few days, but this is the last Thursday that we have for the Boss Lady call, right? So we had a month of phenomenal calls. But how do we give ourselves that check from the neck up, 1 month in, for the year out? Well, you ask yourself, what is my goal? And I'm going to also show you golden nuggets very quick because I'm running short on time, how to make real goals and how to hit real goals, right? So let's stay where we're at. What is your goal? Ask yourself, what is your goal? And I want you to ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need to reach that goal? Once you know what your goal is and what you need to reach that goal, you're going to know this, okay? You're going to know month to month to month, giving yourself this check from the neck up that I'm going to give you right now, where to go to work. You're going to know where to go to work. You're going to know how to go to work, and you're going to know with who to go to work, okay? So ask yourself, right now, getting close to the end of the month, what was your goal and what did you need and did you do it? And if not, we got to revamp. We're going to be a month out. But guess what? We have 11 more. 11 more. So you have to ask yourself, what is my goal month to month? And what do I need to get it done? And once you know that, you ask yourself, every end of month comes, you're going to know this. Where am I going to work? With who am I going to work? And how am I going to go to work? Because you know exactly what you're doing. So with that said, guys, that's going to give you pretty much your own map from 0 to 6 figures at your own pace, depending on how you mark your goals, right? So now I want to give you the details of the system. What do I mean the details of the system? Sometimes it may be easy to overpass the system. And, one question that I got recently is, how can you go from overbooked to overlooked? No, how can you go from overlooked to overbooked? Here it is, ladies. You pack your schedule. To pack your bank account, to grow your Forex trading account, you have to pack your schedule. All right? In terms of learning, in terms of growing, whatever it is for you, you have to pack your schedule. See, think about your calendar as your checkbook. Imagine, see, that's when communication starts becoming key, because now, ask yourself, would you get engaged to someone who is not engaged to you? Absolutely not. So if you want to engage with others, first of all, you have to know what you got to do, when you have to do it, and where you have to be. And that is going to start with your own schedule. Working of the system. Okay? If you wanted to go into a traditional business, I would recommend you, okay, if you wanted, not me. I do not want to do that. And I'm going to tell you right now why. Traditional business. The biggest franchises you could possibly go into right now, McDonald's and Starbucks. All right, cool. You want to open a McDonald's. Check this out. You need 1 million to $2.3 million. I'm going to repeat that. 1 million to $2.3 million just to open a McDonald's. Hey, yo, McDaddy, I'm ready to open my McDonald's. Let's do this. Guess what? They took that amount of money not to give, to share the system with me, not to share information with me, not to give me access to the system. What they did is now they said, cool, I'm going to give you a system. That's all they did. Because on top of that, I'm going to have to pay $45,000 on the spot, just the fees for the state where I'm opening my McDonald's. That's it. $45,000 on the spot. Okay? And on top of that, my liquidity, meaning my net worth. Okay? Net worth, people think it's what they make. No. Net worth, ask yourself, what is your net worth now? How much are you worth? And how much do you want to be worth? What do you want your net worth to be? Your net worth is not what you make. Your net worth is what's sitting in your savings account, not your checkings, because you're using your checkings. Your savings account. In order to have that McDonald's, on top of that 1 to 2.3 million that you need just to open it, on top of those $45,000 that you need just for the fees, you need a liquidity of $750,000 in your bank account. That's what you need. That's what you need to go into the system of McDonald's. Let's say check, 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 check. Awesome. Guess what? Month after month after month after month, you're going to give me 4%. 4% of your total earnings. 4% of your total profits. Because I'm McDaddy. So you're going to give me that. And on top of that, you're going to pay 8.5 because you're not the owner of the business. I'm the owner of the business. McDonald's is mine. You just have a piece. You just have the crumbs. Stop surrounding yourself with the crumbs. Start surrounding yourself with snakes as well. Surround yourself with the people who know why they're working, who wake up with a purpose, and who never forget what they're doing and why they're doing it. So even if you had that, that means you're paying rent to $8,000 a week. $8,000 a week. And at the end of the day, here comes the bomb. McDonald's is not going to make you, you're not going to break even in your McDonald's until 7 years. 7 years. But it's okay because McDonald's works. If I want fish, chicken, or steak, they're going to give me, or beef, because it's not even steak, they're going to give me my patties either green, blue, or red, right? If you ask a kid where the restroom is at, it's to the right. If you ask a kid where the drive-through windows are at, it's through the left. And it doesn't matter. Every McDonald's looks exactly the same. Somebody who works there and goes to another McDonald's can tell you exactly how the kitchen looks like because every other kitchen looks the same. But with or without you, guess what? McDaddy is making way more money than you. both through the window and both through the door, from the person in front of the counter and from the person behind the counter. Congratulations, we gave you a system, but you're not the owner of it. Realize, ladies and gents, the power in the system. Realize the power in your mind. Realize the power in your energy. And I have to cutting this short right now, but I'm just going to give you the wrap up. Let's see if I could do this in less than 5. All right. What I want you to realize is that you have access to a system. When you share the opportunity, when you work the opportunity, you're giving people access to the system that has the power to redistribute generational wealth for free. For free. For nothing. All right? So if you really want that secret sauce, remember the system. Remember the mentality, and go to work, because you have the literacy with us. You have the leadership with us, and you have the support with us. Okay? Reach out to your mentors, to your leaders, to any lady, inside or outside of the council. We're here to work together as one. That's what happens when you bring energy to synergy. And meetings. Let's see, meetings. Meetings. All right. This is how you give your check from the neck up, right? For meetings. What type of meetings are you doing? What I mean by that is, are you waking up new leaders? Or are you just trying to be the superstar in the whole picture, right? Are you waking up new leaders? Are you having meetings to show the plan? That's another type of meeting, right? On top of that, are you showing people how to go fast from 0 to 6 figures? You don't have to be a 6-figure earner to show them, because you're on the path as well. One of my goals this year is to create 3 to 6 6-figure earners, because I know what it takes, and I know I'm going to crash that way before I even thought I was going to. So, keep that in mind. Also, are you having meetings just to talk, just to communicate? Communication is a different thing. It's not just talking, it's not just speaking, it's not just, hearing, it's not just listening. Communication should be upwards. Communication should be downwards. Communication should be horizontal. That is communication. All right. Are you having meetings showing results? Are you having meetings showing testimonies, right? Are you working on, this is the testimony I want to bring out, and this is a testimony I'm going to share X amount of time from now, right? And perfect. So topping on that, goals. I said, and I'm gonna finish through what I said. So if I take 5 minutes over your time and you're sticking through, it's gonna be worth it. I promise you. Goals. A lot of people don't know how to make goals. These goals should have been made before the year, but guess what? I want to make sure your goals are to the dot, because that's how I realized I had to really write mine down. If I wanted to, grow my network to a circle, to the point that you only discuss your net worth with the dot, you have to make goals to the dot. So here's how you write goals the right way, ladies. And again, all this stuff is golden nuggets from golden nuggets. It's literally my own personal notes, not from everything from a meeting, but from what stands out to me from meetings that I was, from last year to now. So goals. Rule number 1, keep your goals to yourself. What? Keep your goals to yourself. You have to write goals to the point where you're not willing to go out there and share your dreams, because there's going to be people who think your dreams are negotiable, that you can negotiate your dreams, that your goals are up for discussion. Absolutely not. Mine are not. So there's no reason why I should be discussing them. But let me show you how you break them to the dot. So what you do is, it's a formula of 2 parts. The first part is long range. Long range, all right? This is how you write goals to the dot. The second part is short range. So let me give you a reminder of what long and short actually mean. Long means dreams. It doesn't mean this year. It shouldn't be on your list if it's a long range goal. It should be, but not under goals. It should be under dreams, because it's not this year. That we're talking about what you're gonna, things you want to go do, things you want, to be, right? That is a plan from 3, 4, 7, or 10 years from now. Those are your long range goals. Those are dreams. 3, 4, 7, or 10 years from now. Those are key numbers, by the way. And on top of that, if you're gonna make your long range goals to 10 years, you might as well have a good idea of what your life plan looks like. You might not want to have it like, I don't know it to the dot, but I have a pretty good idea, right? But the point is, those are extensive. That's what I want you to write down. Those are extensive. Now, short goals. Here's where the good stuff starts. Goals. That means today. That means tomorrow. That does not mean you look back at what you did and did not do yesterday. Absolutely not. That means today and that means tomorrow. That means this. That means that. That means now. That means weeks, months, up to a year. But no more than a year. Meaning your goals are what you want to get done from now until December, not beyond. Those are goals. Why? Because the key in that is that those are immediate. That's what a goal is. Now, Jess, okay, I get it. I get the frame. I get the, the timeline. But how do I write them? Here it is. 3 categories. 3 categories. The first category is economic. Economic. What does that mean? That means money. That means income. That means profits and production. That's how you write your economic goals. I'll repeat one time real quick. Income, money, profits, and production. Second category, things. Don't just write the little things. Write the big things too. And what I mean by that is start writing everything down. Unless you're like super psychic with like, that kinesthetic learning thing going on, photogenic memory, congratulations. But if you're not, write everything down, major and minor. And the way you write it down is like this. The whole point of that is that you have a list. That's the point of it. The reason of it is that you have a list. What do you do when you have a list? You scratch things off. That's the whole magic of it. And you write them major or minor. You say done, 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 done. But I want you to add something to that. Every single time you hit one of your major goals, and it's something that I didn't do. I don't like to bear on credit. I don't like to go celebrate something that I feel does not need to be celebrated. And it's something I'm willing to change up. You have to go out and you have to celebrate those big things that you've crossed out. You have to go out and you have to be able to celebrate the major goals on your list. And this is why. Because you're going to grow from the pain of losing or from the joy of winning. And when you go out and celebrate, okay, self-congratulations is that. You going out and celebrate for yourself. That is known as maturity. You're mature enough to know that you don't get what you want. You don't get what you need. You get what you deserve. All right? Seeking attention, seeking congratulations, seeking recognition, all that other stuff, that is stay away from it. Okay, so and this is the whole point of that, guys. When you ladies and gents, when you write down goals in terms of things, that you're better off than the person who at the end of the day does not know if they're winning or losing, which is sad. Okay, so and then category number 3, personal development. No, this is what I mean by personal development. Personal development means specific goals toward your person. Be stronger. Do you want to be more decisive? Do you want to be a speaker? Do you want to be a leader? It's skills. The only way to rank up your business to that next level is to you yourself rank up your skills. How do you rank up your skills? You rank up your value. Until you don't rank up your skills, your value is not going to increase. And until you increase your value, your success rate is not going to increase. So that's that. And what I want you to know from that is, all right, cool, I have my goals. These are my goals. How do I check myself from them? Well, step 1 is you work on them. Yeah, step 1 is you work on them. Why? See, setting goals is hard work. And the reason why the average person does not do it is because it's hard work. I'm not going to lie. Last year to this year was the first time that I updated my goals and I wrote down goals to the dot. And I said, I'm not going to share them. I'm just going to go out there and make them happen. I'm just going to go out there and work on them. That is what, that is what step 1 is. Work on them. It involves planning. You don't have to be the best worker, but you want to be the best planner. If you're the best worker, is it going to always pay off? Absolutely not. Somebody may not even recognize you, especially if they have the same title, especially if they have the same position. But when you go out there, you plan yourself, you organize yourself, you prioritize yourself, and you go into work, your plans are going to work. Your goals are going to work because you're working on them. Step 2, you write them down. They have to be solid on paper. There's magic from pen to paper, and I've said it a lot of times, so I won't say more from that. But I'll give you, the facts. 43% of people around the world year to year do not make New Year resolutions. All right? And pretty much by the 12th, people already gave up. They already gave up. They already forgot. It's too late for them. Sorry. Try again in 2018. Sorry. And it's late. Yeah, 2016, because you're 16 will look like you're 18. But the whole point is that by the end of the year, the 43% that made New Year's resolution, only 8% will have actually achieved their goals because they actually worked on them day to day, week to week, month to month. And that shows something. It shows that you are serious to yourself. And the last check for your goals, how do you check yourself? Is that you check the size. You check the size and you check the kind of goals. So now you know how to write goals. And to check those goals, step 1, you go work on them. Step 2, you make sure you have them write them down. And step 3 is you make sure you check the size and you check the kind of goals. Don't sell yourself short. Why am I saying this? Big or small, they're going to affect you. They're going to affect the way you walk. They're going to affect the way you talk. They're going to affect the way you move. And understand that goals are not just individual. Should be for your team, should be for your partner, should be for company as well. It could be his and her goals and their goals and us goals and we goals and business and financial and family and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to shape you. And I know I went over time, ladies, but is that what I wanted to say? Yes. I gave you the power of energy, gave you the power don't say like, wow, that's a lot. How do I where's my phone? How do I summarize all that in one? How do I check myself on a daily basis? Well, I'm gonna give you how Jessica Rios, your boss lady and friend, checks herself. And I've been doing this since day 1 of this year. All right, I really said, okay, this is a lot for me to work on, but we got each other to work on it. Okay, but how do I check myself? Well, here's the secret. Personal development, a day. You get that audio in. You get that book in. And, that audio or that read doesn't have to be a book, it could be an article, whatever you read. But if you're a leader, you don't just do one audio. You do an audio and a read. That's what you do. 2, training call. You ask yourself, did I host a training call today or did I hear a training call today? And you don't go to bed until you host or you hear a training call. And if you don't have time to do that, then you go out there and you search on Google or you call your leader or you call your mentor, you call your partner and say, you know what? I did not do a training today. I need to check myself from the neck up with the training today. Send me one my way or direct me to where can I go get one. That's what you do. 3, you have an ongoing list. Yours, not somebody else's. Yours, meaning you're adding 1 to 3 people a day to your list. I don't care if you're part-time. I don't care if you're full-time. You work it like a lifestyle because you're that serious about your goals. And 4, you realize that in order to grow your business and take it to the next level, all you got to do is minimum work on 1 to 3 three-way calls a day. 1 to 3. 3 a day is 6-figure work. But you decide where the guideline is, because on top of your calls, you should be bumping calls to make sure your team is also hitting that next level in their business. So with that said, ladies, a personal development a day will keep broke away because you're rich up here. And, working the system every single day is going to keep the job away. And you can follow that passion and you could be that entrepreneur or that executive or that inventor or that investor or whatever you were put to be, on this earth to do, and not be part of that 95%, but be part of that top 5%. You do what I just told you. That is golden nuggets from the top 5%. And let's see. Did I give you? Yes, ladies. So with that, if any of this helped you, if any of this was new, I'm glad you heard it. Go out there and get to work. Go out there and look at your goals. Go out there and fix what you have to fix, because it's not broken, but it needs some work. So with that said, God bless each and every one of you. I know I went 15 minutes over time, but I hope it was well worth it. Please pick up the phone and tell your team. Pick up the phone and tell your ladies and gents. And from that said, you already know, from the hood to the hills, much love from the whole Boss Lady movement, the council, and myself, and we'll see you next week. Stay happy.